Thank you very much and welcome back to the Bolden Stadium where we are getting ready for the main event. This is the Coca-Cola Intercal quarter-final encounter between the Central Zone champions, Carapichaima East Secondary, and the East Zone champions, St. Augustine Secondary. And what a game we have on tap here in this one, as these two teams are, well, let's just say they didn't really get the kind of performances that they wanted earlier in the season during the league campaign, but now they get a chance at redemption, so to speak. Carapichaima, of course, for years they've been the standard bearer in the Central Zone. That has kind of changed a little bit, but here they are back in the Intercal and looking to see if they could make it into the semifinals of this encounter. So Carapichaima doing their best to represent the Central Zone and keep the flag flying. But they're up against a St. Augustine outfit that is quite capable, and I'm sure they'll be anxious to pull one over on them. Here, of course, St. Augustine getting past Sawan North to be here, and that is an achievement in itself. Here we go, as they get things started here, Carapichaima, looking to just build from the back as best as possible with Aberdeen and Boswell. That's a good ball into the heart of the defense. But good build, good approach work. It's going to be interesting to see how long they can maintain this composure. John. And just give it away. And now St. Augustine with a chance. But they too can't get the target like Wilson intercepts. Here he comes again, trying to go past his man. But St. Augustine, no doubt, keen to also show that after such a long time they're back in the mix. Ball taken down nicely by Hospitales. Opportunity, that's not a bad ball, and easily Harris. So Augustine has to be careful here. That's an early ball, but much too straight. Aberdeen with the header to keep it back, to give it back to St. Augustine as they look to organize themselves at the back as they quickly try to get it forward. Diallo Paul getting them started, but that too is quickly snuffed out. Looking for movement and finding it in the middle, but has to battle well, trying to knife his way forward there and just losing the handle on it. Elijah Batiste, they're going to need him to be very clinical. Thinking of, he was trying to see if he could tee it up there for Gordon, but that was way too straight. Good work again from Aberdeen, coming deep, but they give it away. And you don't want to give away the ball in your own half. Control, not trying to turn and twist with it. Here's Leon Singh. Opportunity for out of the back. John and company will be very happy to keep them pressed in their own half as much as they possibly can. Neither team really settled as well as they would like. Here is Paul. Now they bring it into the Carapichaima half. Knifing his way forward there. Gordon goes nicely in. That's a good ball. Where is the return? And just a little bit put off by it. And they're appealing. That's a penalty. Well. They're appealing for a handle ball. The cross came in. And would you believe it? Duen with the cross. And it took a deflection. And the hand, as they say, was in an unusual position there by Aberdeen. And it's a penalty in minute of play. So St. Augustine with a great opportunity here. Handle ball in the area. And Carapichaima facing the prospects of going behind early in this game. But the good news is that it's so early that they may not have to change their original plan if it scores. And it does. So put away nicely in the end. And St. Augustine, they have taken the lead here now. Goalkeeper guessed correctly. And would you believe it? It just seemed to roll in. So Hospitalis opens the scoring for them. Giovanni Hospitalis. To give St. Augustine a 1-0 cushion. They don't need to change too much. If anything, just be a little more clinical. Here's another opportunity that Duen was sniping his way forward. Leon Singh was trying to tee him up. So you could just see now St. Augustine obviously buoyed by that early goal as they look to now press on here. Here's your goal scorer. Thinking of the shot, but Gordon cannot take advantage. This is good, strong, determined football. But again, just those passes. Sometimes they could just play a much simpler pass, allow their teammate to have the opportunity to control the ball. And here's a near mix-up at the back. And talk about being casual. Williams taking his own sweet time, as they say. And almost ended up with egg on his face. Together with the goalkeeper. But it seems now as if Langton went down. Why? And he was the one who put in the challenge. And it may be that Williams, in trying to step over him, might have just brushed him in the head. And, the referees are encouraged to stop the game, especially when you're dealing with head injuries. And in fact, they make sure that the players are always looked after, because concussion protocols also come into play, but he seems to be okay. They've quickly. Dealt with that situation. Tariq Langton. So he had to go off. And that was what the delay was about. I'm sure they're going to wave him on almost immediately. And what a start this is for St. Augustine. It was Carapichaima who started by stroking the ball around nicely, but while not making much progress, but they kept possession for a long while, and then boom, a handle ball, a penalty, and St. Augustine on the tins. That's another, and Meharis, cool as a bird. It's another good ball, another opportunity, shot, and he saves it. Much in the game so far. And again, congratulations to Naparima College. Yesterday they were 4-0 winners over Presentation College of San Fernando in the South Derby to win the South title. Today we just saw Pleasant, the girls title, ahead of St. Joseph's Convent, San Fernando. Here comes, and that's a little too strong. That needed just a delicate pass after doing all the spade work. Just not able to finish the job with a better pass, and that coming from Hospitalis. A real risky ball. You could see him trying to get it to Gordon, but Gordon now gets it. He plays a nice little ball there. Busy as a bee is Leon Singh. Gets it back to Gordon, but Gordon steps over the ball but somehow leaves it. Luckily, he gets it back. Still trying to turn his man, and he goes down. And the referee says, goal kick. Gordon was hoping for a little bit more. Nice ball played out here to Wilson. He's looking for some support. Has it by Aberdeen. Aberdeen, the unfortunate man to give away that penalty short while ago. Darian Boswell. There are two Boswells on the field. Amarian Boswell, who plays on top, number 11. And the number 4 at the back, Darian Boswell. So here he is, Darian Boswell. Trying to get the ball up. But again, St. Augustine doing well. The middle of the park wide open. And that's trying to turn his man to Elijah Batiste, but he loses out. Good strong tackle again, trying to keep the tempo high, Thompson, because he's trying to urge his troops on here. St. Augustine with that early lead. Where is the ball? That's a great ball, but too close to the goalkeeper. In fact, he might have been better off just playing the simpler ball, which would have found Batiste running into space. In fact, a diagonal ball played across the defense might have actually netted them a better product. This time they win a corner. So Leon Singh and company full of running. So there's your goal scorer and the captain, Giovanni Hospitalis. He converted the penalty to give them the 1-0 lead. And when you consider they're the ones who had that game with St. Augustine that was under review, because they didn't show up for the game, and I think it was scheduled for Tobago. And there's a nice ball floated in and allowed to come down, and I don't think you need a second touch in there. You have to try to get the ball in as quickly as possible, and he was looking for kicking room, and there was none to be had. Yeah, so St. Augustine, and I think they were granted the 3 points into Signal Hill, the 3 points and 3 goals. As a result, they were tied on 34 points with Naparima into that final game where so much was on the line, but Naps prevailed 2-1. And I don't think we saw the best of Signal Hill in that game. And maybe the pressure of playing every other day for the last 2 weeks or so probably finally caught up with them in that game. Leon Singh still fighting for everything in there, but so too is John and company as they win it back. Charles trying to get it started. A throw into Carapichaima. They trail by that 1 goal. Now this is more like it for them. Can they take advantage? Trying to knife his way past 2 defenders, and that loses out in the end. That's careless from the goalkeeper, almost setting his teammate up. And in fact, they're still not out of the woods yet. Aberdeen still trying to get forward as much as he possibly can. See the referee now having a word there, looks like, with Leon Singh. I'm not quite sure why, but Leon Singh obviously was unhappy about something. But we play on. Here is a great ball in, but only black shirts there. They need some of the men in orange to be attacking some of those balls so that they could get to the end of them. There's a great ball played in here. The goalkeeper, though, is coming. And again, you don't need a second touch there. With the goalkeeper off the line, all you need is to try to guide it in the goal. Just put it on frame. And that second touch, or that need for a second touch, unnecessary. Now look at it here. The ball is bouncing. Look at the goalkeeper coming. All he has to do is touch the ball towards goal. And I'm not sure if he was certain in his mind which leg he wanted to play the ball with, because it seemed as if it touched both feet in rapid. That's a tough pass. That's what we call in local football a hospital ball. And because you're setting your teammate up either to be beaten or to get an injury, trying to recover your mistake. But that was much too soft. Now the cross comes, but only 1 black shirt in there. Taken away nicely. Good defending once again from Boswell. Here he is again. Tries to get it down there to Aberdeen. Aberdeen plays a nice little ball on the move now down this left-hand side. Still trying to get numbers forward. He sees his support, but that's a tough ball. Again, the weight of some of these passes. So St. Augustine enjoying the better of the exchanges right now. They have that 1 goal lead, but they cannot rest on their laurels. In fact, they should be pushing for a second one, an insurance goal. Not going to get it there. the ball stayed in. And again, it just seems as if the players are playing only when they see the play. But this could be dangerous. Well, almost gifted Leon Singh a chance here, but he couldn't take it. Starting to build from the back again, St. Augustine. Consider the days when St. Augustine ruled secondary schools football. And Osmond Downer was the principal at St. Augustine during Nixon. Garth Polanyi, some of the famous names to come out of that institution. And they really, Garfield de Silva, another one. They really dominated and really drew large crowds. This could be a tough one. A shot and saved brilliantly in the end there by Miharis. But again, a bouncing ball just outside the area. And you could just see the captain, Hospitalis, there saying, okay, since you all are backing off, take this. And luckily, goalkeeper Miharis was equal to the task. St. Augustine coming close again. Now, what does Carapichaima have to offer? Can they really put something solid together? They're under the pump here again. St. Augustine really forcing them into error and pushing them back. Gordon winning a throw-in, it looks like. So St. Augustine really, after a bit of a slow start, they are the ones who have really stepped it up here a little bit. Another ball played right back into the area. Good football again from St. Augustine. They're a lot more technically a little bit quicker to the ball than their Carapichaima opponents. And it's a real battle here. Nobody seemed to be able to control the ball, and as a result, it's just a fight. It's like a slugfest. And they really need to understand where the seams are and how to occupy those spaces. That way you could get time and space to work with. As it is right now, they either too much under their markers, so as soon as they get the ball, they're being tackled. Whereas if they take better angles and occupy different spaces, you don't want to go on the defenders, on the stoppers. You could stay off of them, force them out of their comfort zone, and force them to make decisions, either to come at you or not to come. Where is the support? Still nobody is coming to support him, and as a result, Hospitalis loses out. This is better from Carapichaima. Excellent. Excellent defensive work from St. Augustine, but they give it right back. Still just the one goal separating these two teams right now. And again, the ball just given away, and St. Augustine just sitting there and gobbling up all of those loose balls. Here's another one. Goalkeeper decides against coming for it. Nice turn. Shot on the way, but much too tame to trouble goalkeeper Henry. That's another giveaway deep in their own half. St. Augustine, though, fighting to win it back and doing okay. Gordon does well. Now buying a little time. That big diagonal ball swung over on that far side. That's where they want to create some problems there. Murray is out there, but again, they can't take advantage. They have good numbers up here. If they could move quickly, they could very well get something on, but the passing is a little bit off. And they keep possession, Williams. So good patience here from St. Augustine. And just as I say that, they go for the big ball over the top. Now, chance here. Can they keep going? Gordon looks up and he has his man running but decides against using him. And what happens is that they turn the ball over. Carapichaima now. Still can't take advantage. Aberdeen decides, let's just go all the way back. Boswell. He's taking his own sweet time. Now they get it over to Aberdeen. Aberdeen plays another hopeful ball. Still trying to get in there. Big tackle again to win it back. They're in the center circle now. This is more like it's St. Augustine starting to get their numbers going, and that's a brilliant save. Not out of the woods yet, and a chance here. Not able to control it. Hospitalis again snatching at that opportunity, but a good effort. First up, good passing to get into that position, showing good patience and a good 1-2 here. And now, look at the ball, played in nicely, but again the shot low and hard coming there from Leonsing. And then the follow-up coming from Hospitalis is way off target. So Takuma Jones would be happy with what he's getting from his troops, but I'm sure he want them to put some of these chances away. Hospitalis wins it back. And immediately they have movement, but again, that's a simple pass. And you just lose possession, and it sort of kills momentum when you keep coming up with those errant passes. Now another opportunity again, trying to get into that position, but Hospitalis decide against keeping the attack going forward, or at least momentarily. And this time he is brought down. And they will get the free kick. They can play this like a corner. Instead, they decide to play it short. And that's not a bad ball. And the goalkeeper coming to try to catch it. Loses the handle on it. Paul at the back. And that's a little too soft there. Boswell does well. Still opportunity now. Here's a shot saved again brilliantly once more from Miharis. Denying Hospitalis a second. And Leon Singh harassing. There's no respite with him. He's really a real busybody. And you look at it again. Here is the cross. And the goalkeeper was coming, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he was pushing it away. He didn't push it very far. He didn't get any distance on it. And here's the shot and the save. And a good effort there from Batiste now. He's trying to go past. He's confronted by two. And they decide to turn away from the pressure, which is good. And they have good support. And now, can he take the ball on Gordon? Decides to go towards goal, and easily handled there by Miharis. Jaden Miharis having himself a good afternoon so far. Beaten once, though, via a penalty. Turning, twisting with it to end. Finally gets it back, and they get it to Gordon. He's mashing the line here on the near side. To end goes, can he return the favor? Does very well. Is he onside? The hook back is a little too straight. Now the shot coming wide of the mark. Again, Leon Singh had a good look, and he just have to get that on frame. But he decided to tug it. And but really a bundle of energies here, there, and everywhere. Still, another opportunity and another shot that is muffed here. So they're coming in waves at them at the moment. Just Murray on that occasion. Kojo also getting involved. But they cannot pass. So Williams trying to win it back. That's a good ball played out on that far side now. This is where they run into problems. They get the ball out there, and then there's no return. It doesn't come back across goal as it's supposed to. It's a good ball, and nice now. Here's Leonson. He's going left side when he probably could have gone right side. As you can see, Gordon free as a bird here with no defender in sight. He tried to play to the left where there was help, but there was also a defender looking. And as a result, they turn it over. And Carapichaima doing the smart thing here. They're not hustling. And they're just kind of taking the air out of it. slowing down this green machine, although they're not wearing green today. Again, the ball just bouncing and nobody could really get the handle on it, but players on both teams are having difficulty controlling the ball. So there's the Carapichaima bench. They obviously a bit disappointed that they conceded an early goal. This is better, showing a little more patience, and just as I say that, they turn it over because the ball is not the best ball, but it's probably dictated by the positioning of his teammates, because they need to find better angles, allow their teammates to get the ball into them as easily and as comfortably as possible. As it is right now, it's like every pass they're making is almost like they expect them to make a sort of a defense splitting pass. And the distances that they're making those passes from sometimes can be a real hindrance for them, kills momentum because they're being intercepted time and again. But we do have a player down right now, and he's moved his stockings and the shoe quickly, might have just been stepped on. I could see him in some discomfort there. So just like I said, it's just an opportunity for them to talk about it a little bit and get a fresh perspective from the bench. So in addition to him getting treatment, I'm sure the physio is passing on instructions and information. So now they have a chance to try to get some numbers in the box. Carapichaima. That's a great ball, floated in there, and the header, but not on target, but that's the general idea. They have to try and put pressure on their opponents. But look at this jailbreak here now. St. Augustine on the march. Ball coming over and he's brought down. The referee says no penalty. But he was trying to go around his man in a very tight position. Now, Carapichaima, they get a chance here now to run at the defense. But again, big, strong challenge. One goal, the difference between these two teams. Murray slowing it down a little bit. Critchlow just trying to take the wind out of the Carapichaima sail. So 40 minutes gone. 5 minutes left in this, the first half. And St. Augustine will be happy with the half, even though they're not satisfied with it. But they'll be the happy of the two camps, no doubt. And they have that goal, that cushion, that all-important opening goal that they could hang their hats on right now. Again, good football, but just not able to execute that passing sequence to the fullest. I'm sure Mike Grayson, the former national standout, who was an assistant coach with the team, he did, of course, remember he made his name in Arima for a number of years. Then he also coached at St. Mary's College. And now he's assistant at St. Augustine. There's a shot, but again, no real, the distance is too far. And so they need to probably just take a touch, just knock it and go for it. And maybe just that momentum might generate a little more power into a snapshot. But when you kick from that distance, especially players who are him, but easy take for the goalkeeper, and he immediately starts a quick counter attack. There's a lot of holding and pushing down that right hand side. That's a good cross, but again, much too close to the goalkeeper. And he started a quick counter attack, but on this occasion, trying to fool the referee there. They took the throw in quickly, knowing that it wasn't theirs, and hoping that the referee would probably allow play to continue. They're leading 1-0, and they're looking to rub Carapichaima, as they say. But they were just trying something to see if the referee would allow it. So Carapichaima wins another free kick. We're into the final minute of regulation time in the first half. So a chance here. Can they again create some problems at the back here and conjure up an equalizing goal? Can he provide the perfect cross forward? It's high, too close to the goalkeeper. He bobbles it, and he was under some pressure there. And but the ball stays with Carapichaima. That's another early ball in. Chance here. Two orange shirts queuing up. And offsides might be the call, but it just seemed to get in each other's way. It's an early ball in. Both of them there, and they could just see one almost throwing the other off. But that would have been a great opportunity for them, but it would not have counted because the flag went up for offsides. So shortly. Welcome back to the Outer Bolden Stadium, where we're just awaiting the arrival of the two teams back on the field. The officials are out there already, and once again, it's 1-0 in favor of St. Augustine Secondary. Jovan Peters, the referee. Adam Allegor is assistant 1, and Darren Archibald is assistant 2. Cecile Hines is the fourth official for today. And remember, the winner here goes into the semi-finals, and these games are coming thick and fast. So in a couple of days, they'll be back in action. So the season is probably going to end by next week. So they're trying to get all of this stuff out of the way early. So players have no time to recover really. They barely even have time to train. They probably might do, if those teams that play today might just do a walkthrough tomorrow, and then voila, they're back in action again soon enough. So it's been, but that's the way it has been for years, and some players love it, others struggle with it, because if you're carrying a little niggle, you don't get time to fully recover, and sometimes you're not able to give of your best at all times. However, as they say, that's water under the bridge. That's what you signed up for, and it's up to you now to make it work. So here we go for the second half of this encounter. 1-0 is where it's at for St. Augustine. They're the leaders over Carapichaima East Secondary. And here goes, but the ball is played downfield to no one in particular. There was no St. Augustine player in that advanced position. Everybody was behind the ball. So it makes you wonder why they even bothered to play the ball forward. But here's a chance, though. This could be interesting. And the referee says nothing given. And but it was very close indeed, because there was some contact, but the referee deemed insufficient to warrant a penalty. And he didn't give any. Elijah Batiste losing out there as Carapichaima starts, just as they did in the first half. They started nicely. They were stroking the ball around well, full of intent. And then, for whatever reason, St. Augustine sort of got the pace. Now here it is again, knifing his way in, looking like he was under pressure from Paul, and then he just sort of went down. Paul pulled out of the challenge, and Boswell, the Marion Boswell, fell down, literally, or threw himself down, trying to buy a free kick, which in that part of the field more than likely would have been a penalty if the referee concurred. Now, Paul played over there. Now this could be interesting. Could he get the shot off? And again, after all of that spade work, the end product just not there for Leon Singh. Carapichaima trying to build it from the back, did well momentarily. That's a very iffy ball played into traffic. Now, this is interesting. Can they get this one in? Who's running forward for it? Still, the ball is there. Shot come the return. And that too is over the bar. So again, good enterprise shown there quickly by Wilson, but he just couldn't finish the play. And that has been the story of their evening so far. Can they really pick themselves up here and get back on an even keel? Can they get back on level terms? It's only one goal, That goal is looming large right now. A place in the semifinals. Up for grabs here. Referee had no choice but to blow the whistle there. He was basically hacking him down. Where is the return ball? Just the shot, a snapshot. But again, not with the kind of precision that is required. Not a bad effort. We don't have to say great idea. And again, Wilson showing tremendous speed down that side, but the ball again is just a little too short. And that seemed to be the order of the D. Williams does well. Into traffic it goes, cuts the return, but they lose out, and Carapichaima is still not able to get it out. Maybe now they can. And in trying to do so, they give it away. So 1-0 it is. We're into the 50th minute of play, although the clock on your screen would indicate 4 minutes, 4:55. That's second half action. We're into the second half. So don't be too put off by it. And St. Augustine won't mind if Carapichaima just waste time, because before you blink, here's another opportunity. Still not able to get the shot off, and eventually crowded out. It's a good defense. Here's a goal scorer now, Hospitales. He's trying to get it in there to Leonson. Leonson is brought down, and he's been really through the wars. So a free kick once again, Giovanni Hospitales standing over it. Is he going to try and beat goalkeeper Jaden Meharis from this distance? Never know. Might just be able to pull it off. 3-man wall. Tries to curl it, but really made a meal of it. Good early ball in, but again, they must be able to simplify the game somewhat. Those passes are just not able to hit the target. It's a diagonal ball that has to travel a very long distance. And with that many defenders there, here's Leon Singh. Again, trying to tee him up there. Good approach work again from Batiste. It's a little undercut there, so the referee right on top of it. And we're going to have our first substitute. Looks like Leon Singh is going to come off. And he is going to be replaced by Hazel. Kimani Hazel. So great opportunity for them to try and get numbers into the box again, but they just seem reluctant to do that. And as a result, the ball keeps changing hands without them really getting anything going. But another free kick to St. Augustine. Can they now do something with this one? The deflection, and it's missed. Well. The ball sat up there nicely for Gordon. He got under it, and he tugged it wide. Wow. Another opportunity there for them. And that's Murray, the man who missed that one. Gordon's probably saying, should have been me. Nice flick on here. The man who's just come on there. Hazel still going. So the game is opening up quite nicely now. It's from end to end, but there seemed a little more potency in the St. Augustine attacks. And referee right on spot there to stop that one. Charles with a lovely little flick behind his back there, putting off the defenders. Can those balls in are just not strong enough. And he had players wide. That ball really, he had two players running wide, still refusing to play them. And that's the easiest pass he had there, just to roll the ball towards them. And he gets it again, and still trying to play it forward when the simple pass is right in front of him. Now, another chance to get it across. Boswell not able to get it into the area. Good defending again from Paul. So the game really now starting to pick up in the second half. St. Augustine getting back into the thick of things now. After they weathered that early little period again from Carapichaima. And I think the crowd just waiting for something to happen here. Can Carapichaima really turn the tables? Here's a shot that's not too bad, and but he seemed to have hurt himself in the process as well. So again, the bouncing ball set up nicely for him to crack it, and now it just seems as if that effort might have done him more harm than good. And this is again what you like to see, players, even from the opposing team, trying to assist the player on the ground. We saw that in the girls' game, and here we've seen it again. So even though they are wearing different jerseys, they still know what it's like. They have a real affection for each other. And again, as players, You don't want to see players go off injured. And you win or lose, you would love for everybody to return home safely and healthy and not have to worry about nursing an injury, because you get injured at this stage, that could very well be the end of your season. So you want to be able to keep going as much as possible. And this is where all the training, the early season training, the pre-season training, and all the sort of maintenance work that has been going on will come into play. Where you have to suck it up, as they say, and try to push on. Again, Carapichaima now starting to make solid headway. Just took it to the line a little too firmly. And again, he turned his man nicely. But he just couldn't keep it in. It's been that kind of an afternoon for Carapichaima. Good football, a lot of space there, and really that's a careless pass, because one, the distance was very tight. Two, it's not the type of pass that you want to give your player with defenders lurking. It's another early ball down that right hand side they go. Can he cut inside? Can he get the ball across? Trying to chip it in there. And easily cleared away. But again, St. Augustine wins it back. And here comes Hospitalis now with the shot. Saved by the goalkeeper. Again, Miharis in the way. Dwayne. And just using his hands there a little bit too much, says the referee. And you could just see Carapichaima. They have all these players behind the ball, and they're trailing in this game. You really would like to see them maybe push the wing back a little bit higher up and let him be a part of the attack. But they seem so sort of hesitant. Here's a shot from distance over the bar. Yeah, they just seem a little bit hesitant to really go into attack. At this stage of the game, you want to be able to push numbers up. And Carapichaima are making a change. Aberdeen is coming off, and he is being replaced here by number 20, Gary Samaru. Hospitalis trying to cut in between two defenders there, and they're not having any of it. But they've conceded another corner kick, and they've done well so far to avoid any calamity with these corners. Can Hospitalis deliver something of note here? And they have three players, only three players. Well, now a fourth one is joining, and a great opportunity there for a first-time effort. And the follow-up is still there. Another shot is blocked, and still it's blocked, and they still haven't gotten it out of harm's way as yet. Still, Good opportunity, and this time the shot is taken by Batiste, but that too is stifled. Ball played across. Paul keeps they keep possession. They're trying to play it over the far side, and again, sensing the danger there, Charles recovers nicely. So St. Augustine still clinging to this 1-0 lead here, and still early yet in terms of time. So another free kick. I think that's handle ball, and Charles and company don't like it too much. So here we go now. St. Augustine leading by 1-0 with another opportunity to deliver something dangerous into the area. And again it's blocked. If he picks his head up, down the middle it goes. The ball is just not the right temperature, as they say. And you could see the ball. You could see him sneaking in there, trying to get to the end of that. It needed a good pass, and it never came. In fact, when he played it, it was so soft, the defender was able to recover. Now, Hospitalis taking his time, plays a nice little ball upfield, and they're eventually going to win a throw-in. So St. Augustine still managing the game right now, avoiding any calamity on defense and just keeping the ball, trying to keep the ball up in the Carapichaima half of the field or in their area as much as possible. Coming over to help out again, John. And of course with Aberdeen now off the field. And they're trying to scoop it up in the air. And again, but really at that part of the field, you want to make more deliberate passes. You don't want any sort of iffy flicks or anything like that where it's so crowded that your chances of pulling it off are very, very low. But that's a tough ball, but it might just set him into the area first time. He climbs inside, and again, good effort there from Gordon. Had to travel a long way to get there, and that cut inside, he probably needed it to be a little more decisive. But good recovery, one would have to say, to help out on defense. But it's going to be another corner kick, and you could see Boswell, Darian, really sacrificing life and limb there to make sure that that ball doesn't get across the face of the goal. Across it comes, and this is a good bit of build-up now. And that's a good ball, but again, the run is so late that it is almost as if he He had to see the ball played there before he started to move. When in reality, he needed to encourage his teammate to play. The teammate played it, but his chances of getting to it diminished because he started so late. Carapichaima still probing here. And again, just the high boot. And the bouncing ball obviously encourages that. And, but the referees are encouraged, once your pegs are over the ball, then they're going to blow the whistle, especially if there's an opponent nearby. Williams plays a nice ball in, and the goalkeeper does very well. Doesn't panic, allows it to bounce. And now Satima's way, and this is where St. Augustine has to be so careful. And he's trying to play this one with the outside of the boot. And there's just a one man up into the attack there, and I'm not sure what is the thinking here from Carapichaima. And they just seem a little bit hesitant. So changes here coming on quickly is Keon Kisun. He's on for Wilson, and also joining him on the field of play is Nuval Watson, who came on for Langton. Good into passing now, and again this ball is going to run all the way over. Carapichaima on the move. A little bit fortuitously, but it's safely back with them, and they on the march again. Kojo Hospitalis, the goal scorer, tries to thread the needle there, trying to set up Gordon. Almost got through. There's Gordon again. But Peace plays the ball in. Nice opportunity here. Squares it back. Nobody home. This could be a goal. Saved, rather blocked by the defender. And again, it's that man Boswell in the way there. Carapichaima living dangerously here. Now the referee is probably going to issue a card. He's been very reluctant to do so all evening long, and so he's now having a word. Both men will get yellow cards, and Kimani Hazel, who's just come on for St. Augustine, and it looks like Thompson from Carapichaima is the other one to receive a yellow. So Carapichaima really just need to slow down the game a little bit and make sure that their passes, reach the intended target. Boswell. "73 minutes gone so far." Time becoming a factor for them. We do have a player down, and so that is not good news for Carapichaima. They really need to get some spark from somewhere. They've tried a couple substitutions. Nothing has worked just yet. So Emmanuel Edwards finally back on his feet here. And they're going to need these players to really step it up here now. There's no tomorrow. That's how they have to approach this. Still going, running in at the heart of the defense. Still trying to get in among those big defenders there. And there's another infringement. And another yellow card. And this time it is the big fella at the back, Boswell. Darian Boswell, who gets the yellow. Williams again is going to try to start this one, but they need to know one in particular. It's almost as if he just looked up, took his time, and then just played it, and there's nobody there. Charles, I'm not quite sure what he was thinking. He had a man ahead of him, but to his right, and they all seem to want to look to the left when the right side is sometimes as open as anything, and nobody there. It's a good tackle. So another substitution being made. And the Murray is coming off for St. Augustine. And they're bringing on Zambrano, Romario Zambrano. Some of these players kind of started the season, then faded, and now they're back again. Sometimes injuries might have curtailed their performances. And Gordon not able to take it and turn with it. In fact, he took it, but he took it facing the defender when he could have easily taken it and faced goal. And that way the defender would have had to adjust to him, but because he was facing the defender, the ball just bounced off of him straight back to the defender. And that should have been a foul throw. And in fact, the referee says throw him, but you could clearly see the back foot coming off the ground. Another hopeful ball, because when it has to travel that distance, it has to be accurate and it has to be powerful. And once it's sitting up in the air like that, it's ripe for an interception, and that has happened 90 plus times so far this afternoon and this evening, and they continue to play it. Paul looking around now. Williams deciding to just to slow it down, and I think this is what St. Augustine needs to do, just to try to get some passes in, just to frustrate Carapichaima a little bit. Carapichaima wants to play at a breakneck pace, but sometimes you just need to slow them down a little bit by passing the ball around. Here's Paul. Plays a great ball in there. Nobody seemed to respond to it. Now Hospitalis is trying his best here. They're not out of the woods yet, and that's careless. Luckily, it struck Hospitalis and went out, but that could so easily have resulted in a turnover off the boot of John. Trying, but not able to get anything going right now is Carapichaima, and you could start to see them dropping their heads. Just 10 minutes left in this game. Where can they find an equalizer? One goal separating the teams right now. St. Augustine doing a good job managing the game at the moment. And they're going to make another substitution. It looks coming on. It looks as if Jaden Solorzano is coming on. And Gordon gets a breather. He's been full of running. Solorzano gets his first bit of action. Here he goes, and the ball almost falls for him. And good pressure on his part. Again, the effort certainly just a little bit rushed from St. Augustine. They get into these very promising positions. Can't finish it up. Hazel again. Time not on their side right now. Carapichaima. St. Augustine though would love to tack on another one before it's all said and done. And John just a little bit too aggressive there after being robbed of the ball. And now they have to try and play some defense here. Ford and company still gesticulating. They just seem so deflated right now. Hands on hips. That's a clear indication of a team that's just lacking that little motivation right now. But they still have 10 minutes or so. Can they, already about 8 minutes now, can they do something Ball played in, and immediately it's cleared away by Ford. So free kick awarded to Carapichaima. But again, you're not seeing that urgency that they need to show. Once again, they're trying to get a diagonal ball, traveling a good 30 meters or more, and that just allows the defenders to just gobble it up. Instead of playing that long diagonal ball to the back post, sometimes they could change it up a little bit and maybe make the run to the first post and, maybe just get a glancing header in. No matter how it goes in, once it goes in, but when they play it to the back post, it has to at least be returned across the face of the goal. With a glancing header, that could go in. The defender could put it in for you as well. And so it's just about changing up the situation here. Right now, they're just a little bit too predictable. Carapichaima with a chance here now. One of the few in the second half. Can they make it count? And the referee again is pointing to, is this issuing a yellow card? Not quite sure who, if it's the goalkeeper that got it. Certainly a little bit of pushing and shoving, a lot of talking going on. Let's just say lyrics. There's the one played across, but headed out. Good defending there and deep in his own half. Helping out. And that's going to be another free kick. So it stays up here despite the clearance by Paul. It's going to stay in the St. Augustine half. Carapichaima with another opportunity. Can they now make this one count? And again, instructions from the bench where to put it. And again, they need him to put it just behind the defenders, not that low. It has to be higher than that. Because you have all these players queuing up at the back post, and then it never even gets to them. Now a chance, but good recovery. And anyway, we'll do. And here is, you don't want to see that at all on the football field, because he just ran up there and clobbered his man behind the head. And it certainly is not what you want to see in a game at this stage. Already your team is down, and you don't want anything to happen. You don't want players from the bench getting onto the field. And really, you don't want the opposing players to get involved with it at all. But that is a certain red card. I don't think there's any debate at all about it. And you could just see the frustration mounting here. And they're trying, but they just can't seem to get anything going. Batiste was anywhere near, and I think it shouldn't be a yellow card. That has to be a red card. Because you look at it again, there is the incident, and going forward for the ball, he was being held back and just played the ball away, and look at it here. For no reason at all, he just sort of slapped him at the back of his head there, and certainly, now the referee issued a red card, but I still can't figure out why he issued a red card to Elijah Batiste. He was the one who was the recipient of the slap or the tap or whatever it may be, and it was only Cecile Hines who pointed out to the referee that there should have been a card issued to Ford, and eventually the red card was issued. but still bewildered as to why Elijah Batiste, who was the one who was slapped, was issued with a red card. Unless during the melee and the pushing and shoving that he was involved in that. But certainly so at the end of that, both teams have lost a player. Now, can Carapichaima press on here, put that behind them, and pick themselves up? And somehow I don't think you've seen the end of that. Here's an opportunity. And the ball again flicked over. So it's going to be a corner kick to Carapichaima. So maybe that was the little impetus that they needed. So here we go now with another corner kick. Not a bad effort. The goalkeeper was coming, but he doesn't get there. But his defense did well to get it out of harm's way. So 90 minutes completed, and now we're going to have 6 minutes of added on time at the end of regulation. So we're into the first minute of added on time. And much too easy for goalkeeper Henry. Tyrese Henry hasn't really been asked to do too much in this game. And that's because Carapichaima have not really tested him that much all evening long. And I'm really still baffled by the red card to Elijah Batiste. I don't know if it's something he said or whatever, but from this distance, he was the one who was clunked in the head. And what it means is that he's going to miss the semi-final game. And now this could be another card here. And I think he was already on a card, if I'm not mistaken. It looks as if Thompson is going to get a card. He was lying on the ground, and he just batted the ball away. And the referee, maybe recognizing that he was already on a yellow, has decided against giving him a second yellow, because that would have been another red card. So, players flirting with danger here. That's not a bad ball. The keeper loses the handle on it. And the first mistake, really, on the part of Miharis, almost put egg on his face there. But luckily for him, it sailed wide. Here's another chance for a handle ball. And again, nobody seems to know why. There was only one person there, that was the defender. And if anybody touched the ball, it might have been the defender that played it with his hands. But the referee says otherwise it's going the other way. So here we go again. Carapichaima with a chance here now. And a good strong tackle by Paul. And the St. Augustine bench obviously wanted the throw themselves, but the throw, you could see Michael Grayson there, not a happy camper. And it's going to be a free kick to Carapichaima. They're getting opportunities now. Can they take advantage? Can they score a late equalizer here? That's not a bad ball, but again, everybody is beyond the back post. Nobody even attempting to come to the front post. And that's an easy ball for the defense to deal with, much too tame. So we're into the 5th minute now of added on time. Carapichaima having to come the long way. But again, just the one man going towards goal. And all those sort of loose balls being picked up by the men in the black shirts, St. Augustine. Here they come again. He might have been offside, but if he leaves it, then his teammate probably could have picked it up. But the referee's assistant had the flag up early. And you know they're encouraged to wait and see how the play develops. So there's a chance, but nothing doing. Again, Henry, she just bowls it out to the opponents, really. And the ball is given away. Chance here, and good tackle to win it back. Still one goal separating these teams, and we enter the last minute of added on time. It's a good ball, but Henry equal to the task, and would you believe it? It hits the attacker and almost went in the goal. How unfortunate that would have been had it struck him and really ricocheted into the goal. But that was what you do, what it almost turned out to be. That would have been cruel, as they say. Opportunity once more now. The goalkeeper is up. Everybody's in there. Little bit of a push, and there is the final whistle. So it ends 1-0 in favor of St. Augustine Secondary. And they will be the ones moving on in the Coca-Cola Intercol. A hard-fought 1-0 victory, but they'll take it and move on, because that's really all that matters now. You just want to get the result. And you don't want anything else. Sometimes you have to win, and win ugly. And this would go down as one of those for St. Augustine, but they won't mind as they move on in the competition. One goal proven to be the difference, and it was a penalty, a 6th-minute penalty converted by Giovanni Hospitalis for a handled ball in the area. And I think it was Aberdeen was the unfortunate defender. And at the end of the day, it held up. And Carapichaima would be disappointed, because in the latter stages here, they had opportunities, they just couldn't convert. And this is when they were more anxious than they were concentrated. And as a result, they are on the losing end here, and their season is essentially over. St. Augustine, meanwhile, they will be happy. They get another crack. They get to move on in the competition, Of course, they'll have to be a little bit more clinical with their finishing and with their passing. And of course, but you could see they have good tools to combine as a unit to make it happen. So that is the situation here. St. Augustine, they move on through to the semifinals of the Coca-Cola Intercol 2025 as they took care of business against Carapichaima Secondary East with a 1-0 victory via penalty, a 6th-minute penalty from Giovanni Hospitalis, and that was all the scoring that was needed here. Again, here's an invitation for you to join us again tomorrow afternoon. We'll have another doubleheader for you from the North Zone this time, where we will have the girls' North Zone final, and then that will be followed by the boys' final with Fatima College battling St. Anthony's, the Tigers of St. Anthony's. So that should be another interesting battle there, and we'll see who comes out on top. So we hope you'll join us for that tomorrow, 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock again, as the Coca-Cola Intercol bandwagon rolls into the Hazley Crawford Stadium, and we hope you'll join us then. So as we leave you from the Adelbolden Stadium, let me just tell you that the very latest here is St. Augustine 1, Carapichaima East 0, St. Augustine through to the semifinals.